New tonight, we start with something that hopefully makes you smile. You're looking at a survivor from Friday's deadly store shooting in Fordyce.
Brittany Sullivan was welcomed home from the hospital tonight by not only her family, but the brave men and women who jumped into action when a gunman opened fire on the Mad Butcher grocery store.
The Fordyce Police Department, employees of ProMed Ambulance Service, and Arkansas State Troopers showing up to welcome Sullivan home. That picture posted to Facebook a little earlier by the Fordyce Police Department. We thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Rolly Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard. It's stories like that that help us remember that despite the pain, Arkansas will bounce back.
And that is the same message the Dallas County Sheriff is sharing with his community and beyond. New tonight at 10, TH11's Ashley Godwin sat down with Sheriff Mike Knoedl for the first time since Friday's shooting. Ashley?
The Dallas County Sheriff and the Fordyce Chief of Police have been working non-stop to make sure the town recovers. But in the wake of this tragic shooting, they have one message to tell people about the small but mighty town.
This will not define us, and it will not divide us.
It was something no one could have predicted, a mass shooting at the only grocery store in Fordyce.
Get rid of the threat as quickly as possible. And, that was what's on my mind. It was horrific.
Sheriff Mike Knoedl said it took swift action from officers to secure the scene and start rendering aid.
4 minutes and 40 seconds into the first 911 call, the suspect was down. And it doesn't get much better than that.
That suspect, Travis Posey, is accused of firing several bullets into the Mad Butcher, injuring 14 people and killing 4. Those 4 victims are Callie Weems, Roy Sturgis, Shirley Taylor, and Ellen Shrum. Sheriff Knoedl says his job doesn't stop at the scene of the crime. He's helped to set up a donation account for officers and victims at the Fordyce Bank and Trust.
That's something that's very important to me, having been in law enforcement for a long time.
Not only has $8,000 been raised for those injured, but the bank has also decided to cover the costs of the funerals. Now, law enforcement is making sure the town remains safe as they continue to mourn. Bradley, Calhoun, and Drew County deputies have been assisting for the past several days as Fordyce officers take time to care for their families and themselves.
Things are kind of getting back to normal, but we are constantly working with the city.
Community leaders also met with management from the Mad Butcher on what happens to the grocery store now.
And I'm sure they're worried that, are people going to come back in? And my answer to that is yes.
The sheriff says it's vital it reopens.
We have people here that, elderly people, and then we have people that don't have transportation. And that's their only means. I see people every day, and I know the chief does too, walking back and forth to Mad Butcher to get their groceries.
The mayor told me the grocery store plans to reopen, but they have yet to decide when.